Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. Happy Friday the 13th. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you're serious about the digital asset space, and let's get right into it today. One take and uncut. This video is going to be a bit informal, just quick. I have some things going on today. So right here, guys, we know that the one and only trader, Peter Brandt, actually is saying it is possible for Bitcoin to go under $1,000. So check this out. Veteran trader, of course. Recently, his XRP call for like 42, 45 cents is yet to occur. We're all still waiting on that. Again, we're waiting for the decoupling. Found this to be interesting. Literally yesterday, I put out a thing, Bitcoin obviously looked very, very weak. It was just below 6K. I wanted to get a poll here, and a lot of people said 3K is up next. We did not quite hit that, but it's dragging the market down altogether. So this is coinpaprika.com. Love these analytics here, as we can see. Top cryptos, you can, favorite them. You can see price overview 24 hours on 7 days. Look at this, 40% down, 47% down. 50% down. Just across the board, absolute massacre. You guys can see return rates as well. You can see community and get a gauge of their followers and where they're at, and then also their all-time highs and the date that they hit their all-time high price. So here, Bitcoin, whatever exchanges they were using to get the average sum for this, is $20,089 on December 17th. So I like this. Again, this is coinpaprika.com. All right, and that's not like a paid advertisement. I just like these, metrics. All right, so right here, guys, Bitcoin's yearly lows: 2012, $4, 2013, $65, and we can see it going all the way up to hundreds to 3,200. 2019 Bitcoin yearly low was $3,300. What will the yearly low be for 2020? Can you even fathom what will happen right now if Bitcoin loses? Look at this, 1,000 to 5x of its value, guys. A massive, massive value. So what would this bring XRP down to? Just looking at the charts for me, I see potentially, if it went down hypothetically and it was still coupled, you could see, 11 cents again. Then you could see 8 cents. Then you could see 5 cents. Below that, I have no idea. It's hard to really get a gauge because you're really looking at a lot of past history when XRP was half a penny. And you guys can call me crazy just because you're focused on price. I invest based upon the fundamentals. They're not changing whatsoever. I will dollar cost average whatever I can because I see this surging well beyond in the future. All right, next up. So CNBC announcing this, guys. As we can see, the Federal Reserve is increasingly expected to cut interest rates to 0 next week. This would not surprise me. Now, something even crazier, guys, besides 0 is, I don't know if this is really going to stimulate the economy. There's good and bad to cutting interest rates overall. I've been learning about it as much as I can, high level, speaking wise, but we'll see. It's my opinion. A lot of people have mentioned it in the past that negative interest rates will be coming as well. But again, I'll believe it when I see it. This just in, guys, right here, NBC News, Trump has actually just officially declared a national emergency to combat the coronavirus. And hopefully, since I said coronavirus, this video does not get taken down. Hopefully, YouTube is relaxing a little bit with that keyword. Now, wouldn't surprise me. I know he's announcing something. I believe there is an announcement he has tonight regarding this. So tune in for that. Next, I wanted to talk a bit about this. So essentially, guys, I was kind of going back and forth yesterday, and people were talking about, gold and XRP and pegging it to gold. If gold is $2,000, people are arguing that, XRP would be pegged. And that's not the correct word I would use. I would never say pegged because that's kind of inferring like a 1-to-1 ratio or however they want to set it. I don't think that XRP will ever be pegged to one thing. And when I'm saying backed by value, I'm using this term very loosely. I believe that XRP, its true potential, because you don't want to limit it by pegging it and limiting the value and potential it can reach. XRP's value will be derived by the value it is sending. So whether it is sending metals, energy, oil, commodities, equities, any type of stock, you name it, other fiat, these things is what the value is, is exactly what will determine it. Securities, other cryptocurrencies over the XRP ledger. Now, another benefit, of course, is, this one gentleman, Crypto Profit, came in and made a great point. And this is a thing that a lot of people don't realize. XRP, it doesn't need to be backed at all, because we can actually tokenize assets and issue them. And also, we've talked about IOUs in the past, and issue these tokenized assets on the ledger itself. And this gentleman was mentioning again, gold, oil, equities, fiat, and then you can actually collateralize these assets with XRP. We've heard David Schwartz talk about the stablecoins, issuing them on the XRP ledger. This is something they've had in mind for quite a while at this point. So very, very exciting. We will see, what comes of it in the future. But bottom line, guys, I am saying we want higher value payments, whatever medium of exchange they're sending on the XRP ledger. That is what will add to price, especially now that we know in reality the circulating supply is roughly 5 to maybe 9 or 10 billion. That's nothing. But wait, right now, these numbers we see, this is nothing but invisible digits on a screen. These are just electronic digits on the screen. It doesn't make any sense to us. Same thing with, the stock market. Everything is artificial. Some, is inflated, and some, like the crypto and metals, are undervalued to the max. There will be price discovery in the future, and I intend to be there. And I believe that it will be happening this year. Within, weeks or months, 2020. All right, right here, Mbiagi just sharing this. So, first round of layoffs in the United States. We also heard, New York City, declared everything with the beer flu going on. New Jersey, schools are going to be shut down. There's all kinds of talks and conspiracies about gas stations going down for 24 hours or 48 hours. So, my advice, not financial advice, but what I'm doing is just getting a little cash on hand in case this stuff is really exaggerated and I, need money for gas, or, food, you name it. So, not financial advice, just sharing what I'm doing to prepare if there is a hypothetical brief credit freeze like we did see in 2008, because they did stop interbank transfers. All right, and this is a gentleman from Bank of America speaking, shared by I Am Legion, just talking about the value that they see when partnering with fintechs to complement their existing platforms and things that the corporate treasuries want to see. Essentially, let me just play literally the last 10 seconds. You'll get the gist. The full video is down below as well.
Platforms. And provide those services to our clients under that relationship umbrella. And that seems to be very much what corporate treasurers are looking for from their banks.
And it's specifically with fintechs. Let me replay.
They would much rather have that service provided under the umbrella of their core relationship bank, which has been very much front and center of our strategy to partner with fintechs with core capability that is complementary to our own platforms.
Exactly. So again, partnering with fintechs, this is nothing new, and this is a little speculation, but we do know that these groups, some of the largest banks in the world, even, PNC, of course, which is like the 9th largest bank in the world, is a RippleNet client. Now, we are waiting for them to onboard on-demand liquidity. To be honest, we're looking for regulations to an extent, but the regs are already here for the most part. MoneyGram is already utilizing XRP. There's no question. What's really happening is, kind of this transfer. Things are going on behind the scenes. I can't really pretend to know and understand every little aspect, but right now we're seeing the pan sell off between all markets, just like in '08. Metal was down, and everything, kind of created cognitive dissonance, as I've been saying in previous videos. And then one day, it wasn't. And I truly believe that when the storm passes, everything is finally past the point of no return, crashes, new things will rise up, and this is exactly what happens during every single transfer of wealth. All right, now another thing, guys, if you did not catch the stream, Brad Kimes and Cryptopolis this morning had a great conversation. And I just thought of this now with fintechs. Now, if you guys believe that, the IMF and crazy, it's crazy to think, but at the same time, anything is possible, so you cannot rule it out. If the IMF or any group, the Federal Reserve, anything in the world would utilize XRP for some version of on-demand liquidity, even if they decide to white label this product, they absolutely can, but they'll never actually announce XRP. What they'll say is, just like Steve Mnuchin has been saying, and this is what Cryptopolis and Brad were saying this morning, so I'm not taking credit for it, but, I tend to agree. I know a lot of us have talked about this, that basically they're going to use the liquidity tools they have available. They have a bunch of new liquidity tools. We've partnered with the private sector as well, and we're working together. They're not going to name the company, they won't name the tech, and they'll just basically talk about a level playing field of interoperability between nations, perhaps between CBDCs. Maybe they will say distributed ledger technology or some version of that. That would not surprise me. All right, just wanted to share that, and be sure to spread that around. All right, next, Cryptopolis actually sharing this as well, 1929 to 1932 playbook. So this is what his prediction was. This was actually early this morning before the Dow bounced up another, 1,000 points after finishing 2K, below, 2 points yesterday, 2,000 points yesterday, excuse me. So we can kind of just see the A, we're here. Again, now B, we're at the rebound, just like he called. We'll see how high we go. I know I was talking about, maybe 27K Dow. That would be very, very generous. I don't think we'll get to that point. And then again, another crash. And I think easily to 20K. So we'll see. We'll see what happens this month. We know the Fed just announced more and more debt printing to sustain the system. So we will see. All right, another point I want to make, guys. If you do not have multiple exchanges, legitimate exchanges, the 2 exchanges I recommend, Coinbase and Binance US, if your state permits. Links are in the description, guys. Literally. Let's see. Yeah, right here, guys. Binance US in my YouTube video description, all right? Check that out. Absolute must-see, because what happened yesterday when the market was moving like crazy, moving 5%, 10% within minutes? What happened was there was arbitrage going on. Coinbase would have XRP valued at 16 cents, while Binance US valued XRP at 12 cents. I could go into Binance US, buy as much as possible, and hypothetically, if you sent it to Coinbase Pro and then sold, you can do market arbitrage. Not recommending it. I'm just saying that is what some bots actually do. I personally do not do that. I'm just kind of the buy and hold type. I will swing trade other assets, but I don't want to be sitting on my computer just moving my assets all the time. But now that is a huge opportunity, and a lot of people don't realize that. So the benefits are, in my opinion, Coinbase is very expensive, especially if you're just using the application for purchasing. Outrageous fees, the premiums they charge in the assets. It's, I don't personally recommend it, but I have it as another on-ramp. Get as verified as possible, as high as possible, level 3, whatever it takes. Get your withdrawal limits to be as high as possible, because when the time comes, you want to own your assets. You want to get them off exchanges and store them or withdraw and, get US dollars or your fiat for it. But the idea behind this whole transfer of wealth is that we may never need to actually take profits because the value will be so high and we'll be able to spend it directly, provided that more interoperability protocols are on the way. That is what I anticipate for the future. All right, that is what we are waiting for, interoperability. So if the IMF, the World Bank, any of these groups, the BIS, they decide to work with the private sector, cough, cough, Ripple in this case, or other valuable fintechs or third-party providers to help with this migration, they want interoperability. That is the key word, interoperability, liquidity, cross-border payments. All right. All right, be sure to get in, the link as well if you have not created one. Highly, highly recommend it. Cool thing is with, Binance US is you can, link your bank account. You can put US dollars on the platform and then set a buy order, a limit order actually, and you can just set it there and say if XRP hits 10 cents, it'll buy. If it never hits, you're never going to buy XRP, and that's fine. And then you can always just put the money back in your bank and just, have that kind of as a Hail Mary, a just in case. You guys will find your own strategies the more you practice. That is just one thing that I personally tend to do, because if XRP were to swing and drop to 1 penny, 5 cents, 10 cents, or 30 cents, doesn't really matter. I can choose when to buy or sell with limit orders. And I'm just repeating this. I know this is really basic, but for any newcomers, because obviously they're probably looking for alternatives in the investing space. So with that, guys, I appreciate it. Be sure to like the button, hit the like button, share this video around, and let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks.